Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Heroic Scale podcast. I'm Dale,
And I'm Robert.
and this is your miniature game wargaming news podcast. Uh, as usual, we're going to start off with what we've been working on. So go ahead, Robert, and tell the folks what you've been working on.
So update from last week, I had built the Dreadnought and the little jetpack dudes for the Adeptus Custodes. So I have now primed them. Woohoo! I have not yet moved to paint. Work was a little busy this week, so haven't quite done much. That's it. That's all I did. I just primed two. I primed 4 models. Yay me! I did it.
You did it. Well, that's good though, because then if that
Hey,
way,
but you know what? Most of the paint scheme is black anyways, so you could say I'm 80% done painting.
yeah. And if the weather turns bad, then you won't have to worry about not having models to paint. So you'll be able to do that.
Exactly. That's kind of why I did it, because we had that long streak of little bits of rain or like fog, and I just don't want to prime in like a damp fog or no sun day, just because I always feel like it comes out a little weirder. Do you get that sense too, or is that just me?
No, it's probably just you. I mean, people say you're not supposed to prime in bad weather, but I've never noticed a difference. I've primed in the rain. I've only noticed differences on giant projects like helmets and stuff that I've been printing and stuff.
I was also very shocked that I did not wash my models again, just like I didn't my Dread Sauron, not learning from my mistakes. But this time, it was great. There's no sticky, so it's all good.
Yeah, I think that's a roll of the dice when that happens because I've never washed my resin models and I've never had problems.
Well, whether or not it's actually resin, who knows what those Russian
Well,
people
that said it was.
use.
Oh yeah, that's true. Uh, so I've been working on. I've painted up my Nurgle Tyrannid Hive Tyrant Lord of Afflictions model. Yeah, I think he looks really cool. I'm really excited, and I kind of want to keep building more, but we'll kind of see how that
Yes,
goes.
do it. You know, I asked you a long time ago. I said if there was one army we could share
Yeah,
and play, what would it be? And you said Adeptus Mechanicus.
yeah, but
But
now it's Tyrannid.
now
It's Tyranids for
it
sure.
could be a Tyranid army. Like, obviously, there'll be 2 separate paint schemes,
Right.
but I think we could grow our Tyranids force bigger. I have 12 Termagants and I have a Malceptor.
Okay, maybe I'll have to figure out what everything else will be in the Maggotkin list that I built, and then we can figure it out that way.
I'm going to swindle a guy out of a Carnifex soon, so I'll have one of those.
And then I kind of want to. I'm like, do I get rid of my Imperial Knights? Do I have?
Don't.
Don't you keep them forever?
You look, okay, here's the deal.
Keep the infamous
Imperial Knight is never gonna lose its value.
Yeah,
It's always gonna be worth what you pay for it or more.
yeah.
So you might as well keep it for now until you find an army that you want to replace it with. Like, don't you dare get rid of a 40k army.
Why so the Space
Like,
Marines?
well, yeah, but you don't like them, so why would you play them?
Yeah, I'm just, I'm not feeling 40k at the moment. I can't. There's no faction that I'm
Just
like,
pick a
oh, I want
broken
to play this.
faction and you'll win. It'll be
I
fun.
don't care about that though. I want cool looking models. Cool looking
Well, I have
models.
Orcs, Custodes,
I have orcs
and
as
Tau,
well. I might go
so you could
orcs
play them.
because especially since you can print the giant Squigroth
No,
model.
you can't.
Well, they have one that's printable.
No, they don't. It's actually the size of the heavy support one. So it looks like it, but there is a heavy support Squigwath that you can, but it's the size of the heavy support one. It's not the behemoth one.
I can scale it up to however big I want it.
Yeah, you could scale it up, but I'm just saying that the default size of it is for the little
I
ones.
think what you're thinking of is a different one because there's
Maybe.
one on this like high end pay site that you have to pay for, but my friend has it and I can just get it from him
Oh, okay.
and print it because he's already printed it and it's huge.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, but he might have scaled it up too though, so I don't know. Um, so yeah, and then we would usually go into what games we played, but it's only been a week and we haven't really played any games. Just because
Oh, that's not true. We've played games, just
well,
not
just not miniature
miniature
games. And
games.
the Backstreet Boys comeback tour is happening, so it really cuts down on the getting together and getting games played.
Yeah, and this week is the LVO. So
It is
it
the
started today.
LVO,
We would normally be there, but we decided not to
right?
for personal reasons.
I kind of regret it. I kind of regret it.
I don't. I don't regret it at all. You should look at the Facebook group.
Oh,
It's
you know,
it's
I'm
pretty
just
funny.
yeah. I mean, the turnout was a lot higher than I would expect. Um,
Yeah,
from
but
what I
that's
can
a
see,
reason not to go.
yeah. But I'm I have 3 tickets to the Backstreet Boys comeback tour, so I should be okay.
Yeah, but you don't have a flu shot because you're a dum dum.
Eh, you
But
know,
it's like I just think the risk outweighs the reward. You know what I'm trying to
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like I just don't feel like it's worth it, and also like
yeah.
everyone's complaining that
Well, plus
there was
plus Dad has like high risk, so like we
well,
should be
yeah, and then
fine.
like there's like food options that aren't quite
Right, the food thing is the main
available.
thing. Yeah,
Like obviously you can bring your own food, but I just don't think it would be
no,
like basically you're going to play games.
right. Like it doesn't
So
really
like
feel
you're
like a
not gonna get the
vacation.
Vegas. Yeah, you're not gonna get the vacation aspect. You're not gonna get the Vegas aspect like we did 2 years ago. And I feel like honestly, if you go to your LGS and play games there with people there, you'll probably have more fun.
Yeah,
And
and
then you could go home after that and sleep in your own damn bed and not smell like cigarettes when you come home.
yeah, that was. I mean, that is like for the people listening. The main complaint that people are leveraging against it right now is that pretty much everything in the Rio is closed. So getting food and getting entertainment or anything type of fun really is going to be had out of property. So and the Rio is off strip, so you'd have to go take a like a 10-minute cab ride or an Uber, which costs more money, and then to go into the city during your off time. Also, you only get like an hour for a break for lunch, and if all the food places are closed, you're gonna have to go off campus or like go look somewhere else or food vendor somewhere to get food, and that's gonna be hard with limited choices. There's gonna be more lines. So
Get to your car, get an Uber, get a taxi before like that eats into your hour.
one,
It's
if you're
just
paying for
not.
parking too, then you leave
I
and
don't.
then
I think they actually got rid of that.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, but maybe next year will be better. I'm still
Well, I
down
mean, I'm
for
assuming next year I'm going. I don't think. I think no matter what at this point.
yeah.
But I just wanted to like obviously this is like the feeler, right?
Yeah, and I'm down for the Rio. I mean, I've been there before. It looks great, but there have been also complaints. But I don't know. I haven't seen it, so we'll see.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they are doing a revamp, so
right,
maybe
right,
next year it'll be fine.
right. Okay, so we'll move into Games Workshop news.
Which is basically all we got because damn.
There's so much news coming out from Games Workshop this week. They just had an announcement preview on Thursday for LVO at night. It was at 10 p.m. I started watching it. They were talking a lot, so I kind of stopped and just waited for the TLDRs in the morning. I think these guys get a little too excited on like the lore and stuff. And like I said at the beginning of this podcast, the first podcast, is that this isn't that podcast. So to start, we'll start with some of the lighter stuff, but the stuff more that my co-host Robert likes more, the Tau stuff. So Tau pre-orders are up. They include a new codex. There's a new sub commander, the Dark Strider. He is a cool looking dude. He's like kind of kneeling. He looks like a Pathfinder. He's kind of kneeling, and he has like 2 little survey drones with him. And that's like I like the 2 little drones that he has, and like the Dragon Ball Z Scouter that he has. I think that's a pretty cool model. Did you say that you were gonna pick that one up, Robert?
Yeah, if my store is doing a pre-order for him, I'm gonna pick him up.
Uh huh.
For him because like obviously I won't know till tomorrow because we're recording this a day early.
Right.
So I'm gonna check it out tomorrow and see if they are taking pre-orders just for the codex or if they're pre-ordering the models as well.
Yeah. Um, there's a ethereal model that was previously only available in the Start Collecting box, and that'll be available by itself now. So that's cool if you need an ethereal for your army, you'll be able to pick that one up. There's a
Everyone already has that guy.
there's a new combat patrol starter kit, and that comes with 3 stealth suits, a ghost kill battle suit, and 10 fire warriors, and a cadre fireblade and an ethereal model. That seems like a pretty good deal value. I mean, I don't know how much it is. I'm assuming the combat patrol is the start collecting, or no? Is that
No,
the more
it's not.
expensive
It's the
one?
bigger box. It's a slightly bigger box.
That still seems like a good amount of models though, for what's in that set. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really like the ghost keel. I like it that you can have the cockpit open and you can have
Yeah, the
the
ghost kill looks really
yeah.
nice. Going back to that the new model. It's like he gives me like kind of like Gene Stealer Colts Nexus vibes, the Nexus.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy with like the little floaty table that has like a map on it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of looks like that. So I wonder if he's gonna have some cool abilities where he could like
Well, he looks like he's like a pathfinder, so he'll probably have some type of like recon abilities that he can kind of scout ahead.
maybe you could get like D3 units to move before the game starts kind of situation.
Or maybe he comes with his own marker lights built in.
I mean, so a lot of the Tau stuff, at least they used to. So I don't know how they're gonna do it now, but like every HQ could pay for their own, like even the ethereals and the cadre fireblades and stuff like that. They could just pay for extra drones.
Hmm.
So obviously they're not going to be free.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. But I wonder
Also,
if he's just going to add some cool extra abilities.
also for pre-order, there's some Tau dice, which I'm usually not a fan of theme dice because they're really not legible and they're hard to read.
You remember the squig dice?
They're kind of cool, but yeah, they're hard to read. It's like how many teeth it has is what
Yeah, and
number
they
it is.
bounce when
Yeah,
you throw them.
yeah. The Tau
So
ones
weird.
look readable. They
They
look
look
fine.
normal.
Yeah, they're
Like normal
white
dice.
with red pips on them, and then the 6 is the Tau symbol. So
Yeah,
it's like okay. Uh,
yeah.
there's new data cards. So yeah, so that was I think that's it. No, there's more Tau stuff, but um, going on to this because I had it separated separately. The new Warzone books and mission packs for Necromunda are also on pre-order, and there's a few Primaris pre-orders as well. There's a cool Space Marine Captain and Gravis armor kit. Uh, that guy looks really cool, and he has a bunch of different head options, and he has a different. Let me see. He has a. Let me see what I wrote down. He's 3 different helmet options, and he has the Mastercrafted Power Sword or a Chain Sword, or you can have 2 Power Fists on him, which is pretty dope. And then there's a Primaris Ancient model that's also for pre-order, and it's just like it's basically a Primaris that has a banner, which is like it's your guy to get shot. But that's for pre-order, and it has a couple different options for the banners. I like that they're adding a lot of options in these kits now. I was noticing in that week with a lot of these announcements that there was options for things, and recently I felt like there hasn't been, and so it's good that there's
Yeah, it's like
paring that back.
here's your stiff model, deal with it situation.
Yeah, so I
But
feel like
the old Gravis armor model was stiff and did but it did look cool, and I love Gravis armor. It's cool with the little storm bolter on the one hand, or the assault bolter, whatever it
yeah,
is.
this
So
one
it's
kind of
like
has all that stuff. I sent it to you so you can see it, take a look at it, um, in the thingy. But
yeah, yeah, I saw it.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's really cool. Um, so that's it for the pre-orders this week, unless Saturday when this comes out, there's going to be more pre-orders probably, but we'll see.
That's
Um,
for next week.
yeah. So there's another article about the Tau Devilfish and some of the new benefits that that thing has. There's new rules for tactical philosophies for the Devilfish. So you'll be able to have like a free normal move at the start of the battle. You'll be able to move it off the table and put it in reserves. If you're picking these things, by the way, they're not free. Um, every time the Devilfish makes a normal move, it can disembark a unit inside, which is pretty good. So you'll be able to move and then drop them instead of doing them in specific phases. And then there was a new stratagem that lets friendly fire warriors reroll ones against a unit within 24 inches of the Devilfish. So your Devilfish will be able to provide support for your units as well as transport them. So that's pretty cool. Like being able to reroll your ones.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the old school one one marker light. So it's like it's doing that for you.
yeah, I like it. I like that they're giving it some usefulness besides just carrying troops. I mean, it has drones too, but
Yeah, you like that, right? Because like with the rhinos and stuff like that, they could pop smoke, and the devilfish could
can they
really
still do
do
that, or is
that.
that like an old thing?
Who knows? I'm
Yeah, I
just
know.
speaking from my old school
Back in my
ways.
day.
Back in my day, rhinos could move really far and then pop smoke. Yeah, people still use them to hold objectives and stuff like that. I think actually for a while they might have been objective secured or at least or something like that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, just you like to see extra utility in your army, and I mean, I don't know how many people actually use devil fishes.
Well, that's the thing. I think this might make them use it a little bit more.
Exactly, and I think anything that gets us to use older models might be good.
Yeah, buy more models.
Or
or
use ones you have.
or just take the turret off your hammerhead.
There they go.
There's been some rules that have been revealed for the Kroot, which are pretty cool. They're movement 7, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 3. They have 1 wound and 2 attacks, and 6 leadership, and then a 6 up save. Which is, I mean, they're able to do melee, so Kroot have their usefulness in the Tau army, to me at least. Like back in,
No,
go
I
ahead.
don't think they do. Is the problem? Okay, so obviously the strength 4, which is great
Yeah.
compared to the strength 3 of the regular Tau, but 1 wound in a world of
Yeah, multiple wounds.
primary Space Marines being 2 wounds, and that being the bulk of most people's armies,
Mm-hmm.
and orcs now having 2 wounds and actually having extra strength and toughness as well. It's it's gonna be hard. And how many attacks did you say they get?
2. And it's AP
Yeah, it's
it's AP
standard.
1. It's AP 1, which is good.
It's good, but like it's probably gonna be more than an orc. Orcs don't get AP, but but orcs get 4 attacks, 5 attacks on the charge. You know,
Yeah.
and they can reroll ones,
Yeah.
and sixes explode.
But
Like
you know what I mean,
it's
versus
not a melee army. I get it.
I
I
feel like they
know.
have a chance. I feel like they have at least a little chance.
I,
Especially
what I really want to see. I want to see a melee. I want to see a melee crisis suit.
but that's
That would.
dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
What's her name? Shadow Sun or
I know.
Farseer has a weapon, has a melee
Far
weapon.
side,
Yeah, Farsight has a melee weapon. So I would like to see
more of that.
a melee weapon that was able to be equipped onto the crisis suits that increases their strength and gives them more wounds and AP, like more attacks and AP.
Or would you want like a sept that added like that there was
No,
more
God no,
discipline, so all their units just across the board get a higher weapon skill?
God no, absolutely not. Because like the weapon skill of I think a Tau right now is I think 4. It's a 4 up.
Hmm.
Um, so like if anything that would lower it down to a 3 up, and that would be what Crude are. So it's like you might as well just buy the Crude, and then you could choose whatever sept you wanted.
Yeah, but then you don't get the gun power, because the gun for the Kroot is
It is
24
horrible.
range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, damage 1.
Strength 4, damage 1. It's similar. I think it's actually similar.
Yeah, so
It might actually be the same, to be honest.
they're allowed to make a normal move at the start of the battle round, in addition
Yeah,
to them being, but that's probably the Pathfinder rules
I think the
also.
Pathfinder could do that. Yeah.
But more importantly, they are adding shapers to be available for HQ choices, with different warlord traits and everything to choose from for them, and stratagems. So you could field an all crew army if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
and you could have what's it?
Oh, the
Help me out.
Gnaw
What's that
Beast?
movie? What's that movie?
What movie?
Uh, John Carter of Mars Army. Would be those guys. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, yeah.
about.
Or
Exactly.
what's it? Abe's Odd World.
Yeah, exactly. So you can have an army of that if you want, but it's like if you're playing Tau, you're playing it for the crisis suits and vehicles. You're not playing it for crude.
Yeah. So moving on from that, was another article about, this is the last part of the Tau. I promise. If you guys are done with Tau, there's an article about Tau stratagems. Um, there was a couple of them that were pretty cool. One that increases the AP of 2 units in your army when they attack. So you get to pick 2 units, and they get to increase the AP of their weapons. I was like, that would be pretty fun.
So this scares me because right now we have advanced targeting computers
Uh-huh.
that we could add on to our crisis suits and all of our mechs and stuff like that, which adds additional AP to all of our weapons. So I wonder if they took that out.
But wasn't
So
that
it's no longer being an option, and you could just increase the AP
and
of 2 units.
but I always forget. I always get confused between Age of Sigmar and this. Like you know how they're only allowed to increase their save by 1.
No, no, you can only increase in this. It's you can only it's to hits and wounds can
Okay,
only be
so
increased by
AP can just
1.
go to the moon.
Correct,
Okay, cool.
as far as I'm aware. But
Yeah,
it's just it's just 1. It just increases it by 1. That's all it does
yeah.
for all your weapons.
So in addition to that, there's another one that adds 1 to the attacks of your crew, and makes them able to perform heroic interventions. So
Is
that
this permanent, like a warlord trait kind of
you know it's a
thing?
stratagem. So you'd pay
Okay.
you use the card and you'd pay the CP to use it, right? And I don't
Yeah,
think
so you don't use it on one unit per round.
right. And they would get heroic intervention, which is good if an enemy unit ends within 6 inches of them or something, right? They get a
Yeah, it's like if yeah,
charge or something like that.
if yeah, if they're from next to a friendly unit who got charged, they could intervene and
Yeah.
come in.
There was another one that was actually I liked a lot. There was a stratagem that lets all Tau pulse blasters, carbines, and rifles have the characteristic of pistol 2 when in engagement range.
Which means you could shoot it in melee.
In melee, yeah. So I was like, oh,
Yep.
that's giving them more like helping them out in melee a little bit. I think
Yeah, if you get
if your guys survive the onslaught,
well,
of
here's
course.
the thing. Um, one of the seps for I call it seps, but one of the new chapters for Adeptus Custodes is they could advance and shoot. They could fall back and shoot. That is the sept. That is the sept. So all units in their army, as long as they are that sept, can fall back and shoot for free.
Well, we know the custodians are broken. We don't have to talk about
No,
them.
custodians aren't broken. They're the elite of the elite. So
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
of
I know.
course, you're having a five model army, but it's like I wonder if they're gonna give Tau the ability to fall back and shoot or fall back and charge.
That's what made them really powerful in the previous edition, right? Was that they could do that with their jumpsuits and stuff.
They need to be able to. There's no in the world where you can't shoot into melee.
Yeah, that's
You need to.
well. Now you can with the stratagem. um, they added there's another stratagem coming in that is an orbital ion beam. It's pretty cool. You get to pick like 2 points on the battlefield, and then at the beginning of the next turn, it does a mortal wound to any unit within a straight line of those 2 points. So that's pretty cool. Like he's gonna be like nuke, and then hopefully it does something. But I mean, if you put an objective, you're definitely gonna hit something. You're not gonna not hit something.
Hopefully.
So that's it for all the Tau news. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't think there'll be any more news since the pre-orders come up tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't see them announcing anything else. Maybe there'll be leaks,
Yeah,
but that's probably about it.
yeah. So now we're on to the Eldar, which there's been a lot of developments, especially since yesterday, Thursday. To you guys, what's that? So there's a new Eldari Warlock model, Warlock modules. Sorry, it comes in a set of 2. They can a theme with all these new Eldar kits seem that they can be built with or without helmets. So that's cool if you wanna have them helmetless. I was always a fan of putting helmets on my models though. I don't think like why would you go into combat and not cover your face?
Also harder to paint flesh.
I mean not with contrast paints. That thing's easy. Flesh is easy now. Um, but yeah, so it comes with that, and it also contains they can each have a shuriken pistol or an open hand in addition to like their sword. And then the kit also contains a witch blade and a singing spear. So if you want to sing with the spear in battle, you can. No, I don't know what these things do. I don't know anything about Eldar. All I know is that some of their models look cool, and that's all. That's as far as I go. um, so that's it for that one. The Games Workshop is retiring the old Avatar of Cain model, but there's a new one, so don't freak out. The old one was tiny. It was about the size of a Space Marine, and it was really flat. This new one is really cool. It's about 3 Space Marines tall now. There's lots of detail. It's plastic. It has and again with the whole theme of them adding more options to kits, it has a lot more options. There's 2 different helmets that you can put on it. Like if you want to do different ones, you can do one without. There's a head without a helmet on it. There's 3 weapon options, which I only thought it had 2 before, but there's a sword, a spear, and there's an axe now. I don't know if that
One
has.
might be like an artifact weapon that you could give it.
Yeah, the axe looks really cool. Um, I really like the model. I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not really a fan of Eldar. I don't necessarily like this model. Like I wouldn't want this model, but I can see why people would want it and would play it. I think
Yeah,
also
just it's kind of weird how they announced it.
Well, because I think it leaked. I think what had
It was
happened.
leaked, but they sounded really butthurt about it on their posts
They
in the
do it every
morning.
time though. They do that every time. It happened with the vampire people, and they're like, "Oh, instead of looking at a blurry picture on some stupid website, how about you look at our website and look at the real
Yeah,
picture?" That's what they always
like
say.
one of his posts says, "Well, look at someone. Look at it looks like someone woke up early and they're not happy about it."
Yeah,
The avatar is angry about the potato can pics that are floating around on the internet. This is what an incredible miniature is supposed to look like. So that's what they posted. It's like, guys, this is being made in Chinese factories, and it's going to be just like everything. It's going to be leaked. As soon as someone sees it, they're going to post it. If anyone can get clicks and views off of this, they're going to release it.
yeah. But
Like it just is what it is, you know?
it's just cool that it's cool though that they react by doing a little like that sucks, but then they actually show it instead of like instead of not acknowledging it. I mean, they were gonna announce it on
They kind of
Thursday.
already acknowledged it though by showing those like little pieces of what
Yeah.
things could be. It's like, don't tease it. Just like, wouldn't you be happier just knowing what things were?
Yeah, I
Like
don't.
honestly,
Yeah, if I knew what their development schedule would, I think I would be a little bit happier because that would help me plan my stuff better too. I think like if I knew that Fire Slayers were gonna have a new codex soon, then maybe I wouldn't jump on buying all these new units right away. Um,
exactly. And it's like, well, I mean, I guess that's kind of against them, right?
right,
But
but then
it's
like,
like, but it's like, they wouldn't sell the older stuff. And I feel like Games Workshop is all about that sell point. So if you knew new Eldar stuff wasn't coming out, you wouldn't invest in new Eldar stuff at the beginning of the year when you knew they were coming out like in March.
right, and I think, but where do you draw that line though, right? Like, how far ahead do you show what you're doing to then still make people like know what they can do in the meantime, right? Like without having to do like this long wait kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see. They showed the new plastic kit for Phoenix Lord Mugen Ra. I like it. I know you don't. I know you have some problems, but I'm gonna say the good things first. I don't. Like I said, I don't play Eldar. I'm gonna buy this model. This guy looks cool. He's got a big old gun with a sweet scythe on the end of it. He's got bones all over him. He's got skeletons everywhere. He's got a big cape. He's giving me kind of Reaper from Overwatch vibes, which I'm not.
That's why I hate it.
That's why, yeah. I'm not too sure on. I mean, but the cloak on the old one was big too, and I think it looks very similar to the old model while
No,
still
it
having
doesn't.
its. I think it does.
The old model has this cool little, besides its cool little bulkiness on it, the skull helmet is really nice and like defined on it, and like the all the skull armor around him and stuff like that. The cloak takes away too
Oh,
much
I
from it,
see. I
and
see.
like,
Okay, I'm looking at the model right
and I
now.
hate the like cloak around his head, so it doesn't really look like a cool little helmet. It looks like his head is a skull, which I don't think is as cool as the older model. Like I originally said, yeah, I'm gonna get this model no matter what. But honestly, I think I'm gonna buy the old model because the
Yeah,
old model just looks so much
the old model he just had a loin. He
cooler.
had a loincloth instead of a whole cape on,
It looks
and he looks
so
and he looks
good.
buff. This guy looks buff. The old one looks buff. The new one does not look buff.
Yeah, so it's like it definitely like they definitely missed some marks here on it for me at least. I mean, I'm sure people are going to be happy about it. It's plastic, you can't go wrong with it. But it's like I really wanted this old school, not old school look because obviously the old one's pewter and they had to be stuck the way they were, but it's like he's not the character anymore.
Mm. I can see what you're saying. Maybe when I get a hold of the model, you can see if he is thick in the chest or not.
Thicker than a snicker, heavy than a Chevy.
But but yeah, I see I see your complaints now looking at the old one.
He looks
I
too much like Reaper, like from
he
Overwatch.
does he does
That is the complaint.
yeah, he does look like Reaper from Overwatch. And that's honestly a lot of my complaints with a lot of things like the film industry and everything, that everything kind of starts to blend to look the same.
Well, I mean, yeah, you talk about StarCraft versus Space Marines. You talk
Well,
about Zerg versus Tyranids. You talk about Protoss versus Tau. It's like those kind of parallels come from
it's
each
like
other, and
it's like
they both kind of steal from each.
Blizzard stole from Games
Yeah,
Workshop, so Games Workshop stole back.
exactly,
It's like the revenge.
exactly.
It's the revenge.
Yeah,
Maybe not the best time to pick for revenge though, with all the stuff going on in Blizzard.
we're not a
Um,
news podcast.
huh?
We're not a
Okay.
current affairs
Oh yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah, yeah. So they also showed off the Eldritch Omens box set. Um, so there is a new. That's the Eldritch Omens box set is a. I think it's a starter set. And it comes with a lot of new Eldar models in there. So there's the a Shroud Runner, and it's like a jet bike that has snipers on, like Eldari Rangers on the back of it. So it's like a sniper bike. I was like, wait, this is cool. They can go fast and they can shoot fire. Um, they get a +1 save when they're in cover, and they get to make a normal move at the start of the first battle round, like infiltrators do. But these guys look cool. It's like I like the cloaks on them. I like that the sniper's kind of hanging off the back. Did you see the picture of that, Robert?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I like it. I like the cloaks. These ones. This gives me more of a Endor, Luke and Leia vibe on the speeder bikes, and I like this. So I can't tell you why I necessarily like this cloak more than I like the raw cloak. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Um, it's the Reaperness of it, right?
Okay,
It's
okay.
literally the Reaperness of it. I
Mm,
think that they want this theme, like, so it's like they're kind of making it like their Death Lord ones, right? So it's like they kind of want it all to theme in with Mugen Ra.
mhm.
And it's like that doesn't necessarily fit in with all the rest of your Eldar army or any other part of Eldar army if you're not using him.
Well, and last week we
So it's
talked about those
like,
Dark Reapers, and they're not big. They're a little bit big and bulky, but they don't have cloaks on at all.
yeah,
So,
true.
uh, but whatever. Also, it could just be to hide a lot of not having to sculpt stuff. It could just be laziness too, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
we
I'm
know
not
that.
saying that Games Workshop people are lazy, but you can hide a
I think
lot
we're all
with it.
cutting corners in this day and age.
And maybe you can build it with all that stuff on it. I didn't really see the kit, so I don't know if you can make it without the cape and stuff on it. I definitely don't see. I see the
I hope you
legs and
could.
I see the legs and stuff, so I can definitely see you not putting the cape on it. Um, but we'll move on from him. We don't have to keep talking about him. So in addition to the Shroud Runner bikes, they also showed the Shining Spear models, which is another jet bike unit, but they just have big old spears on them, and they can also be built with or without helmets, just like everyone else. Um,
Yeah, so this is a
th-
older model that is also getting revamped.
yeah, and this
So
was I would imagine it's the same kit as the Shroud Runner kit.
I mean, honestly, that would probably be smart, right?
Yeah, I mean it would come with extra guys, right? There would be an extra unit on the back of because there's two people on the Shroud Runner
Yeah, it would just
versus
be two. It would just be ways you could build the bike, right?
yeah. This is what this was shown at the LVO preview. The Shining Spears were they were white, like jet white bikes, and really clean models, but um, definitely like just normal Eldar stuff. Um, they there's a new Horus Heresy era model. It's a giant a corn bloodthirster named Ka Bundha. This model is freaking cool. It, I don't play chaos factions that much. I mean, like Space Marines, but this guy looks so cool. He is the general of the armies of Khorne. He's posed really cool. He's got a huge wingspan. He's got like an axe and a whip or something on him, and he's like stepping on a dreadnought or like a pile of Space Marines. It looks cool. What are your thoughts on this guy?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks cool. I wish it could also be used in Sigmar,
I,
and the base tells me it won't be able to be.
uh,
But either way, it would still be cool to kind of convert to a like a demon prince
well, it's a
for
bloodthirster, right? They do have bloodthirsters in Age of Sigmar currently,
for sure. But I'm just
and
saying, like, it would be cool to like even like you could convert this to a demon prince for your faction, your corn faction, or whatever, which would be
mm,
really cool. But yeah, the model looks really cool. I
it
like the
is
way it's
it is
posed.
the same base as the bloodthirster is on. Looking at it, it
Yeah,
just has the Space Marines, but you could just putty over that.
Yeah.
Or turn those into Sigmar guys. Like, not a big deal. That's an easy
Yeah,
conversion.
yeah.
I think this is an easy conversion.
But yeah, it looks really cool. I wonder if there are any weapon options or anything.
Yeah, they didn't really show any details like that on this model. They just kind of showed the model and we're like, haha, pocket sand, bye. Um, yeah. So moving on from that guy, which was really cool, there was a rumor engine. You know, we talk about the rumor engines. It was a big antenna, and it looks to me Adeptus Mechanicus. I don't know what you're thinking, Robert, when you look at that. It definitely reads Adeptus Mechanicus to me.
It
Like
looks like a terrain piece.
yeah, could be. It could be a terrain piece, but it could also be like an antenna on like a big walker.
Or
Because
it could be like they're adding faction terrain in Warhammer 40k.
ooh, I could do faction terrain would be kind of cool.
Some
Um,
people already have it. There's like a mech workshop for orcs and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it looks really big. So I'm just kind of confused as to what it
yeah,
would be.
yeah. I mean, if you look at the Adeptus Mechanicus range currently, they do
Yeah,
have like
I
the
mean, there's definitely room for it on top of like their big huge car walker
right,
thingies.
like because if you look at that that one, the Mechanicus Onager Dune Crawler, like
Yeah,
I definitely feel like that could have this
for
on top
sure,
of it, right? Like
for sure.
it doesn't, or like maybe like those little
But
tank,
it looks
the
too
tank
big to
guys.
go on the
It does
chickens.
look really big. It does look really big.
So like it would be cool if it's like a Lord of War, like a specific Lord of War for them.
Or it could.
Um,
Oh,
but
that could be
my
kind of cool.
my problem though is that Adeptus Mechanicus just got updated. Like
Yeah.
they just got a bunch of new stuff. Like they just got a bunch of new stuff. It's like there's a lot more. There's a lot of other factions that could use something. So I wonder if it could go to a different faction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it could be Imperial Guard, for all we know. It could be Tau.
Yeah.
It honestly could be Tau.
I don't know,
Um,
man. Yeah.
it could be Gene Stealer Cult.
It could be
Like,
no. You know what? Actually, it could be Cadron Overlords. If we're stretching,
wouldn't that be great?
it kind of looks like some of the stuff on, like, you know, like the little bands on it. It kind of does look like that. But an antenna, what the hell would an antenna be for? Unless like it's gonna summon lightning and shoot lightning at people.
Yeah, it's definitely not orky enough. It's definitely not Necron-y enough. It's
Mm-mm.
definitely not a Tyranids. Like we could just say that. But it could be Eldar.
Could be
It
Gene
could
Stealers.
be Gene Stealers. It could be Tau. It could be any Imperium faction. Like except for Knights. I don't see Knights having anything like
Well,
this.
unless you, like you said, they're gonna get like an engineer knight,
Yeah.
which that'd be kind of cool, like a little healer knight. Also, while we're on the topic of the rumor engine, last week we talked about the wheel, and there's have been some developments in the news at LVO that kind of makes me lead to believe that it's for this game. So, for Necromunda, they're going to be adding vehicles. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna be like how that's gonna work for the game, but they're adding vehicles, and they're venturing outside the hive cities and going out to the desert wastes. So I'm getting like Mad Max feels. So it definitely could be a wheel from a new vehicle for Necromunda, which I'm down for because I do like a lot of the Necromunda models. So we'll see. We'll see. I think that covers all of 40K. And now we have just some small Age of Sigmar news. Wasn't There hasn't been a whole lot of Age of Sigmar news lately, which I'm sad. But
I mean, there's more. There's tomorrow. There's always tomorrow for LVO
there's
and the
11
last
more
day.
months. There's 11 more months.
Well, yeah, and there's also more of LVO to announce more stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. So they announced a new starter box called Arena of Shades. It includes a Night Haunt army, and a Daughters of Cain army. The Which I'm excited about the Night Haunt part because the Night Haunt get a new hero, and that's the Scriptor Mortis. His model looks cool. He kind of looks like he's attached to like a giant candle stick, and he's got like a ledger that he can write down. Like it seems like how they were explaining it is that he can make grudges, kind of similar to the dwarves, and pick a unit and make the Night Haunt do more damage, or do have better strength against that unit. He's got 3 arms. He's got like a big old lantern, and a big old book. I think he's cool. I don't know if there's a place for him in my Night Haunt army. Um, but I might pick him up, but I won't be buying him by himself like I did with the dwarf guy last week.
Is this another like starter kit of the
Yeah,
month
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that they're doing?
Yes.
Okay,
Next
just
question.
checking. Just checking.
So, but in addition, the thing that I'm most excited about is that the Night Haunt will also be getting another new unit in this box, the Craven Thorn Guard, and these are ghosts with crossbows. Not a lot of ranged units in death armies, which they were making a really good point to say during the live stream. um, but I'm here for it. I wanted to add uh, I wanted ranged in my army, but I didn't want to build chain rasps or chain gas. Sorry, because they're coming like a set of 3 in a box, and they're really hard to find for some reason. And one of them is like an HQ unit. So I'm down to have these guys. It's a 5-man unit. They all have crossbows. One of them has like this big banner with like a spear on it. Um, and just to get more ranged in an army, I think these guys will definitely have a place in my army. I'm gonna have two units at least of them if points allow. And yeah,
And I already hate you
well, I mean, dude, these guys look cool. I like it.
because you already get
4-up
because you already
save.
get a as you always get a save, right?
Yeah, I always get a 4-up save, and I can fly.
Yeah, so now giving you a ranged unit that could be speak ha 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 and just keep shooting me is gonna be really fucking annoying.
I mean, they'll probably be really fragile. Like, you know, you'll be able to hit them pretty easily, I'm sure. Like, they're balanced. They'll be balanced. They'll be
If
balanced.
I can keep up, they can fly, right? All of the
All the
Nighthawk
units
can
can fly.
fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a problem. And that's my big dinosaur could nom 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 on them.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for get this. Also in the Night Haunt, half of the box includes 3 chain gas, a unit of blade guys, and a unit of banshees. I think this is like I know we were talking a lot of shit last week about like the starter sets and what comes in them, and you don't really need a lot of this stuff. Like,
We're gonna be talking shit for years about this. Okay, every month there's
like
a new set.
I know. Looking at this set though, like to me, I feel like this is a good set. There's for Night Haunt. We'll get to the Daughters of Cain part, but like for me, I just bought Blade Geist like not too long ago, and so if this was coming out, I definitely wouldn't have had to buy them. Chain Gas are useful. These two new units are useful, and then the Banshees are, I'm sure they're useful, but they don't have a place in my army. But that's like there's a lot of good models in there for them. Daughters of Cain half, they only get a new hero. That's all they get. They get a new hero in that box. It is the High Gladiatrix Yelena. She's on like a rock. She's got a whip and a sword. It comes with an options to build her with, instead of that sword, it's like a or dagger that she has. It comes with like a double-sided spear thingy, and you can put a helmet on her, which is cool. More options, right? But that's the only new models that the Daughters of Cain are getting, which is good. I don't think Daughters of Cain need help. I don't think anyone's talking out here like, oh, Daughters of Cain need more models. I think they're probably in a good spot. Night Haunt definitely are not in a good spot right now, so giving them this unit might help them push them out of where they're at right now competitively. But the Gladiatrixes comes in that box, as well as uh, 5 Doomfire Warlocks, 10 Sisters of Slaughter, and 5 Kinari Heart Renders. I don't know how to say these words. These are all made up words. um, but yeah, so that box is coming out. Uh, it said pre-order now, but obviously it's not for pre-order right now. Maybe it will be tomorrow. We'll see. Um, but yeah, that covers it for all of the Games Workshop stuff. Um, and you have any comments or questions on the Games Workshop stuff, Robert?
Nope. Looking
Besides,
forward to all the Tao stuff. I'm obviously pre-ordering the book tomorrow, and then we'll get it. We'll have it in hand not next week, but the week
after
after
usually, yeah.
because of the way things go. So yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully it's good.
It looks good. All the stuff, I mean, that's been coming out on there has been.
Yeah, I think what I'm mainly worried about is points, and obviously, from what I heard, unit size is changing, so I might actually have to get more models, which I'm not really looking forward to, but because I thought I was done, but
You're never
we'll
done.
see. Exactly.
All right, cool. So let's move on to your little short section here.
This short section, Atomic Mass Games. No news this week. So super short, but they did release a lovely article on their Facebook page. So you want to be a Atomic Mass Games tester. So this is a Google Doc that they would like you to fill out if you would like to become a tester for Marvel for Crisis Protocol. And it asks you to fill out a few questions, basically describe in detail a game you played, and describing rules and stuff like that. This is them trying to test and see how articulate you could be, how well you describe things. You can't gloss over things. You need to basically how you write things. I mean, this is something that Dale could speak to more than I can, but it's like they
Yeah,
want to know
it's definitely
that this
so.
is like the bug testing thing.
Right.
Like how do you dumb down something enough so anyone can understand it?
Yeah, like there's been questions like this in some interviews that I've been in before that, I'm not really a fan of, but I can see what they're getting at. Like it's usually referred to as like the peanut butter sandwich question, or like uh I've had
How do you
ones
get in
like.
your car? Like how do you describe how you put on a seatbelt in your
Right,
car?
and you're talking about everything in detail, right? You're not just saying, "Oh, I
Yeah.
get the peanut butter and jelly and put it on bread." Like you have to be
Yeah, I
like,
go to the fridge, I open the door,
yeah,
I grab the jelly, I open up the peanut, like that kind of
yeah. I
stuff.
looked at it, and this one was asking more like too that it wanted you to play a game where the armies were like skewed differently. Like you built an army to be a specific way that was maybe a little bit underpowered than the other one, and see
Yes.
how you dealt with it. Which was an interesting question, like to kind of see how you would go about that, and like what what were you expecting, and then what actually happened.
And I wonder what they're getting from that because it seems like perhaps maybe they build the characters underpowered starting up, like starting out. Is that kind of what you got from it? Because like, why would you ask about
I think it wants. I
underpoweredness?
think it wants. I think it wants the person to realize that not everything has to be the best all the
Oh
time,
yeah, of
and that
course.
and
I
that
hate those people.
and that you're starting out at a disadvantage, and then you're building from there and learning from that experience. Instead of it's more about the experience and not about what you're actually doing.
Yeah, it's so there. That was the first question, and there was another one after
The other
it.
question's cool. I like the other question.
The other question was,
What's your favorite like Marvel or comic book like event?
yeah, what was your favorite like Marvel character or comic that you've read or seen recently that you like and why you would recommend it to someone and stuff like that.
What did you say for
So
that?
I talked about Black Knight. So I told them that reading the comic book, the Five Shot series that Marvel did in 2014 about Black Knight, and how it and what I liked about it was that it kind of drew parallels to the Eternals,
Mm,
and with the way that the Eternals set up um, Kit Harington's character and also like the state of the universe. So Captain America being so old, it might tie into something cool that could happen later on in the future. But it's like that's just what I like about it, and it's like I liked it because it gives you more baseline for Jon Snow's character.
yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, oh man, Siege is like my favorite Marvel storyline. Like if I were to talk about it, I'd be like, Siege. That's the one. That's the one that everyone that I always talk about when I'm recommending comics to people. Like that's my favorite. That's the one where Asgard is on Earth, and Norman Osborn is in charge of Shield. This is during like the Civil War Mutant Registration Act. He's got control of Sentry because he's manipulating Sentry, and then they just go to war with Asgard, and it is brutal.
Yeah, it's always good. And then I think the last section it asks you about it's like not the last section, but I think there's a section before the last. It says there's three questions and you got to answer two of them. Like describe your favorite movie in detail, or describe a what were the other ones? It was a while
I
since I
only saw
did
the
this.
two questions on this new
There were
one.
three. There were three other questions. And you had to pick. Only had to do two.
Oh, okay.
You only had to pick two. There's obviously a word count limit on these and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a quick little survey. There's no skin off anyone's back. So if you're interested, go check it out. It's on
There's
my Facebook
huge
page.
benefits if you get in. Like if you get in, they
Yeah,
send
huge
you.
benefits from what I've heard from other people. It's definitely beneficial to do it.
They'll send you
By
the
no means,
models to paint, and then
no,
you
they
can
don't send
play.
you the models. It's like a stipend.
Oh yeah, well you get them, but you can still get the models early, right?
Correct. You still get the models early and you still get rules early. So it's like definitely worth it. And it's definitely good. Like any way to support your hobby is really good. Especially if you already play it anyways.
And it's kind of
So
paid, right? So it's not like you're doing it for free.
yeah, exactly. That's what the and that's hence the stipend,
Right,
right?
right,
It's like
right.
you're getting stuff and they want you to test it, but you get to keep it. So who's the real winner? So yeah, that was it for Talk Mess.
Cool. Any additional runners up this week? I can't think of any.
Um, Additional runners up. From last week, we talked about dystopian wars, how the Orbats were up. Now this week, the stat cards are up. The point cards and stat cards are up. So that's all changed. Breaking news as we sit here just now. I looked at my app store and updated my apps, and the Legion Army List Builder is updated. So
Ooh.
Star Wars Legion
Turn my
has
phones off. I forgot.
have a separate list builder. Like some other person made a list builder that's really cool. It has all the cards in it, has all the point cards for it, so you can just look it up easy and you can make your lists on it. I find it way easier than Army Builder, or what's that other thing we play, Battlescribe.
That was great.
um and it hasn't been updated since
Forever.
before COVID.
No,
And
Backstreet Boys
obviously,
come back to her.
so yeah, Spec Viewers come back to her. And so there's obviously been a lot of things that have been released since then, and now they're finally here. Not quite loading right now, but they have updated it. So that's all that matters. That's great. I'm happy, which means that an Armada one is soon to follow. So that'll be great too. Adding the Star Destroyer inside of it and all that, the Super Star Destroyer inside of it and all that other stuff. Um, the Kickstarter for Simon's zombie Marvel Zombies is obviously still funded, and it's still going, so you can still go get on in there if you want to. A lot of cool models have been added, so I think alone the Kickstarter exclusive models for this would be worth it. Would be worth the buy. You're getting like tons of characters. You're getting Moon Knight, a new Moon Knight figure. You're getting a cool Juggernaut figure. Like, there's a bunch of cool stuff in it. I think it's definitely worth checking out. Um, February releases for Atomic Mass for Marvel Crisis Protocol are going to be Juggernaut in its own set, the Colossus and Magic in its own set, and Gambit and
Rogue.
who?
Rogue.
Rogue, yeah, and Rogue in her own set. And there might be a terrain set with that. Obviously, some people already have this, but for us who live far away from everything, we get it on actual release date. And I think Nick Fury may come out next month, potentially.
Mm.
And then more news from the conversation from last week. It does look like it is Elektra, Daredevil, and the Hand Ninjas in one box.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw a pre-order for it on a miniature market, and it's one set.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's definitely new to us, but it's more like the Hood and Doctor Voodoo set where it came with 3 models. So
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, but the hood just turns into that guy. He's not. It's not his own unit.
correct. I mean that's basically what the hand ninjas are, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna be dropped
Oh,
down and then
that's
killed
true. I
in the first
guess.
turn.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
They're yeah, the minions aren't really that great
Yeah, they
as we
don't count.
discussed. They don't count. They're not people.
All right. Cool. So there's no questions from our viewers. Do you have any questions this week?
Uh, Only stupid questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, with that, thanks for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do all that YouTube stuff. Helps us for the algorithm and helps us get on there. New podcasts every Saturday, and new painting videos and building videos every Wednesday. Uh,
Chill.
yeah, Michelle, I'm super chill. All right, and that's it for me. What about you, Robert? You good?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next Saturday. Peace.